Hi guys, it's KINO. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is going to be messages and predictions for your month of July 2023. We'll start off by taking a general look at your month. So we'll look at the main energies that you're dealing with, the main themes, as well as significant changes and events that will be coming your way in the month ahead. And then we're going to dive into the specific areas of your life. So we'll take a look at your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and finally your spiritual and personal growth. So there are 3 readings for you guys to choose from today. I'm going to show you each of these crystals up close one by one, and then please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Number 1 is Strawberry Quartz. Number 2 is Smoky Quartz. And number 3 is a Shiva Lingam stone. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the Strawberry Quartz, this is going to be your reading. We're gonna start off the reading by taking a look at these oracle cards to get a look at your overall energies. So to start off, we have Perception and Creative Critic. There is always someone who will pull at threads. Creative works are subjective. You have judged yourself far worse than anyone else. So right away, I'm noticing we have the number 21 here. So the 21st of the month could be significant, or someone who is 21 years old could be significant, whether that's you or someone else. But there's kind of a specific message coming through to start off for this group. I feel like your guides want you to know that you have been unfairly criticized or like inaccurately criticized. It's this feeling of someone was trying to pick what you were doing apart, or they were trying to judge you, but they were just objectively wrong. They were just objectively full of crap. And an example that is coming to my mind is a boss or someone at work trying to scold you or tell you that you did something wrong, but you were actually very much in the right. Like you were doing everything in the correct way, but maybe someone still tried to blame you for an issue that happened. Maybe someone else messed up and then they tried to put the blame on you and they were like, you weren't doing this properly. But your guides want you to know you didn't make any mistakes. This oracle card is on the creative theme. So for some of you, this could be like some work that you put out. Maybe you released a project, you shared something on social media, and someone tried to say that it was crap, or that you did this wrong, or that your technique was bad or something. And your guides are literally saying they were just objectively wrong, or like, it's okay. They're allowed to be wrong. They're allowed to have bad taste. It's fine. They were just completely full of crap. And also, I think it's kind of telling that this is an ostrich, because ostriches, I just learned this about ostriches recently because my partner one day just randomly became obsessed with learning ostrich facts. It lasted for exactly 1 day, but I learned that ostriches are really freaking dumb. So it was just like someone judging you or critiquing you for a dumb reason. And I'm all for valid criticism. And I understand that sometimes even valid criticism can be hard to hear, but your guides are letting you know that this was like completely unwarranted. Like this person had their head stuck in the ground. They were unable to see their own fault in the situation or their own bias. Yeah, they had their head in the sand. And even the reason ostriches do this is kind of silly. I think it's to hide from predators, because they think if I can't see them, they can't see me. We love ostriches, but they're not the sharpest tool in the shed. But in general, I think something that your guides want you to remember this month is that at the end of the day, I really do think that you guys are your harshest critic, and no one is really judging you as hard as you might be judging yourself. And definitely don't let this fear of judgment keep you hiding away like this ostrich is hiding their head in the sand. I think there's a message that to not be afraid of people judging you, because you're judging yourself the hardest. And yes, people might judge you or critique you sometimes, but you can't let that fear of that thing happening win and cause you to hide away. Your guides are saying that would really be a shame, because at the end of the day, people's judgments cannot really hurt you. I know that it can hurt our ego sometimes, but it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like, let people say what they want. And this is so much easier said than done, okay? I struggle with this a lot as well. I also think there could be a message here of no one is really looking at you or thinking about you as much as you think. And that is a very good thing. I think I often hear the example of someone who's afraid to go to the gym because they're afraid that people are going to be looking at them and judging them. Or, I used to be afraid of going to dance class or pole dancing class because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. But nobody freaking cares. No one's really looking at you like that anyway. And if anyone is looking at you, I honestly feel that most of what they're thinking is positive anyway. So I feel like in July we could just be dealing with a little bit of self-consciousness, a little bit of fear of judgment. Judgment is gonna come your way. Some of it's gonna be constructive, some of it's gonna be full of crap, but the point is that you cannot let this get you down or let this, make you want to hide away. So coming out of your comfort zone and just getting over that fear of judgment could be a big thing in July. I'm also just realizing now that the number 21 is the number of the world in tarot. So there is a feeling of coming out, stepping out into the world and showing yourself. But I do want to mention the world is also about gaining recognition and gaining admiration for your achievements. So we definitely want to be putting ourselves out there in the month of July. I feel like that will bring rewards for you. So let's take a look at your astrological cards. We have Vesta, and we have the first house with self, physical appearance, early childhood, goals, desires, individuality, temperament, personality, natural tendencies, identity, and self-image. So Vesta is an asteroid which talks about the things that we are devoted to, the things that we commit to and dedicate a lot of our energy to. So to have the first house coming out next to this, I feel like July is really going to be a month for my group number ones where you are committed to yourself. You could be investing time and energy into your physical appearance, and also just kind of figuring out who you are and what is the identity that you want to present to the world. So this could be a month where you're working on being more true to yourself, or where you're working on like creating a brand that is authentic to you, if that applies to your situation. Like really working on expressing an identity or a brand or a personality that feels good for you. And also working on feeling confident when you step out into the world. I think this is a big month for self-love and self-discovery. It doesn't feel like a soul searching, because I don't think you're really searching for a specific thing. You're more just exploring. I'm thinking of that expression, not all who wander are lost, and I'm just imagining you wandering inside yourself and seeing what you find, seeing what parts of you want to be expressed, and you're not particularly looking for any one thing. I hope that makes sense, but yeah, it looks like it's all about you this month. The focus is very much on you and building yourself up and building confidence and self-love. So that's really nice. It looks like it's going to be something you're very committed to. And when you're committed to something, anything that is hindering this mission, anything that is not in alignment, so anything that messes with your confidence or messes with your sense of self, we may be reevaluating those things. So finally, let's take a look at our tea leaf fortune cards for more messages about the general energies of your month. We have Axe, forces working against you. Bread, period of prosperity and abundance. And Grapes, time to go out and have fun. It's interesting that you have two food cards. Maybe your body wants bread and grapes. this month, or maybe like grape jelly on toast. Oh, I love me some peanut butter and jelly. Anyway, love that we have period of prosperity and abundance and time to go out and have fun in the midst of forces working against you. This tells me that if anyone has it out for you, or like doesn't like you for some reason, or if there's anyone out there who doesn't want to see your success, they're not going to stop you from going and living your best life and having a good time. I'm realizing as I say this that for many of you, this forces working against you could be your own mind. It could be your own mind that is in the way of you feeling abundant, going out and having fun, because this can be very hard to do if we are self-conscious, if we're worried about people judging us. So I feel like this is saying that those kind of negative thoughts will not win this month. They may still very much be there, but you're not going to let them stop you from going and seizing the opportunities that you want, from going out and having a good time and feeling yourself and being confident. I don't think that in order to be confident, we must have a complete absence of negative thoughts or insecure thoughts. I feel like they could always come and go or always be there to some extent. But what's important is that you keep showing up for yourself every day and that you don't let it stop you. And I think that in July, you are successfully not letting it stop you. And if you resonate with the interpretation that there are some other people who may not want to see you succeed or may not want to see you feeling yourself, it's very clear from these cards that they are not really going to have any power over you in the month of July. I think with this bread card, money, finances is going to be very good this month. Your work is going to be going very well. You could be generating abundance from something that is fun to you, and from something where you're kind of stepping out of your comfort zone a bit with this time to go out. And grapes also make me think of abundance. I don't know if that's one of their actual meanings or if it just feels like that because there's so many grapes on the bunch, but anything working against you is not going to stop you, is not going to hold you down. I also feel like you guys you're going into this month committed to have a good month. Like you're kind of making that promise to yourself. We're going to go out, we're going to do what we want, we're going to have a good month. That's my promise to you. So it looks like mentally you guys are very strong and committed to loving yourself. I love this. This is really nice energy so far. So, I also want to mention an Aries person could be significant, whether that's you or someone else. And also the letters A, B, and G. Oh, maybe that's Gabby, Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel, or someone with these letters in their name or a place that starts with A, B, or G could be significant to you guys this month. But this is what I'm seeing for the overall energies. So we're going to move into the specific areas of your life now. I'm going to drink some water. And we are going to be looking at your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. And I have one tarot card and one oracle card for each. So let's start off with your love life and relationships. For your tarot card, we have the Ace of Wands. And we have the Champion, achievement, downfall. So judging that we have the Ace of Wands, which is quite a positive card, I think I'm going to go with the achievement aspect of this card. Once again, I do feel like the relationship with yourself is going to be the biggest focus and one that you are enjoying the most in the month of July. But I also want to mention that the Ace of Wands indicates an exciting new beginning. So there could be, for those of you who are looking for love, there could be an exciting new beginning coming in your love life. So meeting someone new or a renewed spark or renewed excitement in an existing connection. A fire sign person could be significant as well, which is interesting because we just mentioned that an Aries could be significant, which is a fire sign. The other fire signs are Leo and Sagittarius. So an Aries, Leo, or Sag person could be significant to you. We also have double ones. So like this person could be a life path 1 or be born on the 1st of the month, or there could be like a 1-year age gap between the two of you. But yeah, for those of you who are single and don't have a specific person, it's highly likely that a new person will be coming into your life in July, and it sort of feels like sparks are flying between the two of you. This will be someone who is very creative and enthusiastic. They have a lot of energy. If you're meeting someone new, you might be doing something kind of active for a date. You might be doing something outdoors or something that requires like physical activity, whatever that might be. This can also indicate that there's like a strong sexual connection between you and someone. And even if you're already in a relationship or you've been involved with the same person for quite some time, like I said, this can also indicate that there's like a renewed spark in the relationship. You're rekindling that romance, you're reigniting some kind of passion. And this could be because of something that happens, or it could just be because the energies are that way and you're just feeling like the sparks are flying between the two of you again. With the Champion, yeah, I think this is achievement. There could also be new beginnings or new appearances being made, new people making an appearance in your social circle because of a significant achievement. We also had, there was kind of that energy of the world in the perception card. I do think there's some kind of milestone that you guys, oops, sorry, there's a hair. That's kind of gross. Anyway, I do think there's some significant milestone that you guys are achieving in your career this month, because we have the period of prosperity and abundance. We have the energy of the world here. We have achievement. And so I think this achievement is going to cause new beginnings in your social circle. So you could be making some exciting new connections. You could be linking up with someone who inspires you a lot, or meeting in person for the first time someone who inspires you a lot. I also wanted to mention with the Champion and with this sword, there's also a feeling of becoming victorious over your thoughts. So I really think a lot of you guys are getting over, like, your negative thoughts don't have power over you, or your imposter syndrome doesn't have power over you anymore. And that could also be something that is affecting your relationships and your social life, because maybe the past you wouldn't even have thought of approaching that person or sending that person a message, because you just had these thoughts like, oh, they're not going to be interested in me, they're out of my league, because you weren't really confident in what you were doing or how you were presenting yourself. Whereas now you don't let those negative thoughts win, and you realize, like, I'm a freaking amazing person. This is also a freaking amazing person. And at the end of the day, we're just people. So let me reach out to them. Let me try to connect with them. I feel like you are becoming more outgoing, and that is going to bring new inspiring relationships into your life, a new romance if that's something you're looking for, or new exciting like networking connections or creative people who really inspire you. So let's take a look at your cards for, oh wow, the camera really wants to focus on this Champion card. You might know someone or be in a relationship with someone who is a champion in something. Like they took a medal home in some kind of championship. Okay, so for your career and studies, we have, this is Justice, but in this card, in this deck, it's called Adjustment. And we have the Archer, biding your time and planning ahead. It's funny, the Archer is like Sagittarius-y type of energy. So fire signs are coming through super strong in this reading, as well as we do have Libra energy here with the Justice card. I really like that we have this for your career and studies, and I was going to say finances too, because the scales give this feeling of what you put in is exactly what you're going to get out. So this is a month where the more effort you put in, the more results you are going to receive. It is going to be a very direct and predictable equation. The more you study, the better grades you are going to get. The harder you work, the more money you are going to earn. The universe is going to be very fair to you like that this month. You are getting exactly the outcome that you deserve. So it's it feels calming. You know exactly what to expect. You know, sometimes you study really, really hard for an exam, and then maybe you go in and the questions are completely different, or you go in and you're just really nervous and you get a bad grade and you're like, what the heck? It kind of feels like throwing the dice sometimes. Then you can't really prepare. And I feel like your guides want you to know that this month, a lot of your success will have to do with preparation, which is awesome because it's very much in your control. There's not a lot of random, unpredictable outside forces messing with your results this month. It feels very controlled. So for example, if you are taking an exam, the exam is going to be exactly what you studied. And the more you study it, the better you will do. Or it's going to be, you will have like a list. Maybe it's not a physical list, maybe it's an energetic list, but you will know exactly what to do in order to get the outcome that you want. And I think that you are going to feel quite in control about how your career and studies and finances go this month. So things really do feel like smooth sailing. I feel with the Archer, it's also a message that you are right on target. When it comes to your career and studies and finances, you are exactly on the right path. You have a very good idea of what you're meant to be doing. I think you guys also have a very realistic timeline. So if you guys have, made a timeline for your goals, I'm going to reach this goal by this month or by the end of this year. Your guides are saying the timeline that you've laid out for yourself is very realistic. Or even on a smaller scale, the amount of tasks you put in your schedule every day is very realistic. They're saying like, you're not putting in too much to overwhelm yourself. You're not putting in too little. It's very good. And maybe you have found this balance through a lot of trial and error, but I feel like you're finally reaching this place where you feel in control. You know what kind of schedule works for you. You know what results you can expect from your work. It's predictable in a very good way, in a way that makes you feel secure. And that is just awesome. Many of you guys, I think, with biding your time, planning ahead, you've been very good with like allowing yourself what am I trying to say? You're allowing yourself time to get things done. You're making sure that you get things done in advance so that we don't get stressed out at the last minute. And I think a lot of you guys maybe are thinking about your long-term goals and your long-term future at this time. The Archer and the Sagittarius energy, that is also about the big picture. So looking at the big picture and your longer-term goals is really favorable right now. If that's not something you're doing, then maybe your guides are asking you to start doing that, or suggesting it, I should say. But you're definitely gonna go far. I feel like you guys are taking a moderate approach to work and your studies that is really going to allow you to go far because it's sustainable. And you're also allowing yourself to make adjustments when needed. You're going with your flow. You're going with your fluctuations. This energy, justice, I'm going back to this, someone giving you an unfair criticism or unfairly blaming you for something. If that happened at work, or if that happened in an academic setting, I feel like you are going to get justice this month. The truth is going to come out, and the truth will be in your favor. This could also be resolving workplace conflicts, and everyone in a group working in harmony, because we all have the same vision. We all have the same goal. So this looks really nice as well. Now let's look at your spiritual and personal growth. So for your tarot card, we have the 7 of Pentacles, and this has the keyword failure. And we have the Captain, taking command and teamwork. Wow, you are really coming through in a leader energy this month. You are the champion, you are the captain, you're Aries, which is the leader. I think that a big part of your personal growth this month is realizing that, and this sounds a little bit cheesy, but it's so true. The only failure is when you stop trying, when you completely give up on yourself. If you get back up and dust yourself off and try again, it's not a failure. Or if you learned something from your mistake, then it's not a failure. And there's always an opportunity to learn from mistakes that we make. That's kind of what they're for. At least I think so. At least that's what I like to tell myself. Mistakes always give us information on how to do something better or how to grow, and we should not be afraid of them. And I've spoken about this a bit before, like use myself as an example, but a fear of making mistakes, when I look back, has really sabotaged me, because then I don't even try the thing because the fear of making mistakes is so strong. If I were to allow myself to mess up more or to be imperfect more, I feel like I could have grown a lot more. And so I think that, and it's funny, like this handshake, I feel like you're building a healthy relationship with mistakes and a healthy relationship with failure, where it doesn't actually determine your self-worth at all. It's rather an experience that serves you because it teaches you new information. You're like, oh, that didn't work. Okay, I'll remember that. And what about this didn't work? Because maybe that will give me more information about what does work. You're not afraid of I'm thinking of my partner once described about like his business, that it was just like throwing a paper plane and being like, oh look, it flew, and like having no idea how it was gonna go before that moment of throwing the paper plane. And I was just gonna say, I feel like you guys are entering into an energy where you are not afraid at all of throwing that plane and having it fall to the ground, because that's gonna give you information that you need to build the next one. When you analyze it and see, okay, it didn't work because this, I know this for the future. If you just stood there with your plane and you were too afraid to throw it, you would never learn anything about what this plane can and can't do, or how to build the next one better. Mistakes are so valuable. I also think with this Seven of Pentacles, like you're not in a rush anymore, because this is very much about patience. In some readings, it gives me a feeling of labor of love, especially when there's a picture of plants on it, because I imagine someone going out and tending to the plant every day and saying like, take your time, plant. You can grow as slowly or as quickly as you want. I'm just here to take care of you. I'm just in love with the process of taking care of you. I think when you fall in love with the process too of the work you're doing, it becomes less about reaching your end goal quickly or reaching perfection. And it's more like you're just exploring and playing around with it. And when something doesn't work, that's still exciting because you learned something new. Rather than saying, oh, because I produced something that didn't work, it means I'm a failure. You're having that kind of healthy detachment of like, let's see what happens. Let's experiment. Let's play around with this. And I think that's the same with you guys, like experimenting with your identity and your expression and your brand this month. You're not really looking for anything particular. You're just having fun exploring yourself. And I think a big part of your growth is having fun exploring your work or your projects and taking your ego's association out of it. Like whether this goes good or bad, that says nothing about my worth. I'm just here to watch it. I'm just here to watch it unfold and learn from it, which is awesome. So for the final card of this reading, I wanted to take a Thera-pets card for you guys, but I also throughout this reading have been called to look for Archangel Gabriel in my angel deck. So we'll do that after, but for now, let's get a Thera-pets. Actually, no. let's bring out Archangel Gabriel first, and then we can use this deck as a message from him. I feel like that will be nice. So there's Gabriel in this deck. I'm just like going through the deck now to specifically look. I found Archangel Gabriel, and I don't know if that is the same, but if this part is really long of me sifting through the deck, I will edit it out because I don't want to make you sit here for a long time. But yeah, I feel like it's this one. Yeah. Gabrielle, messenger of the divine source. News, spiritual revelation, strength, new beginnings, guidance, and resurrection. Call on me to aid the flow of communication between yourself and God or with others. We have citrine, which could be a powerful stone for you guys, or powerful crystal. Citrine actually helps to bring in abundance and prosperity, so I feel like that's perfect for you guys. We have Monday. There's gonna be a few Mondays in July, but a Monday could be important for you guys. The 2nd of the month could also be important. I wonder if the 2nd or the 21st does fall on a Monday. That would be kind of cool. And then we have meditate on it. So this may be a month where I know there's a lot of fire here and there's Aries energy, but this isn't a month where you need to be rushing into any decisions. And this is also a month where communication is going to be very, very important. So for any major decisions we're making, reflect on it, talk it out. Sometimes talking things out loud is a really good way to see how you truly feel about something. And also Monday is like the moon day, which also makes me think of meditation and reflection. But you can call upon this angel if you need assistance with anything in July and just moving forward. But now let's get you your Thera-pets message. A message for group number 1 to keep in mind throughout the month of July. Woo! What is a message of encouragement or reassurance that group number 1 needs right now? Okay, life will always bend you, but trust me, you are too strong to break. Okay. So group number 1s, these are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself. I just saw 3131. July 31st could also be a significant date. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find my pick a card readings on Instagram, many of which are timeless. You can find my pick a card videos on Patreon, which are also timeless, and they're just like these ones, except for you get to choose the topic. You can check out my music on my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. You can also check out my latest release linked down below. And finally, I have a vlog channel, KINO Vlogs, and we have merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video, and we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It truly means so much to me. Thank you so much for being here. Group number 1s, I am sending lots of love to you, to your spirit guides, to your angel, and all of your spiritual team and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms, and also to anyone who will be a part of your July. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 2s, so if you guys chose the Smoky Quartz, this is going to be your reading. So we're going to start off by taking a look at these oracle cards to see the overall energies of your month. We have self-worth, self-love, self-value, and self-respect with this adorable little piggy. And we have creative alchemy. The unknown meets the practical, real-world skills and knowledge. Throw in luck and devotion to authentic creations. We also have the number 11 here, so that could be a significant number to you guys. Maybe you are seeing this number a lot, or perhaps the 11th of July is going to be a significant day. And this is kind of similar to group number 1. It seems like self-love is going to be a very big theme for you guys in the month of July. And more specifically, I think you are healing yourself. With alchemy here, there is a sort of transformation that is going on for you guys where you could be changing your self-talk. You could be healing from or getting over the habit of like self-deprecating yourself, or talking down on yourself or underestimating yourself. I think you're learning how to lift yourself up and value yourself more. And I'm sort of getting the feeling that for you guys, you are unlearning and rejecting negative things that had been said about you in the past. For example, if you were bullied as a kid, or if you had a specific relationship where someone was verbally not being very nice to you and putting these ideas in your head about your flaws and your shortcomings, you can really start to internalize that, where even if that relationship is not there anymore, you still tell yourself those negative things about you. I've spoken about this a little bit, but I still kind of struggle with this, thinking that like I'm an airhead, I'm dumb, I'm lazy, I'm sloppy, because these are things that people close to me had told me. And so we have to unlearn these negative things that people told us and that picture that was painted of ourselves. And I think that this month, a big part of your healing process looks like actively rejecting. And it could be what a partner had told you, what an employer had told you, what a parent had told you, and saying, no, that is not true. I am amazing. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of respect. And just because you weren't able to respect me or value me, it doesn't mean that I can't do that for myself. It's a feeling of rejection. Like, I will not listen to you. I will not let you affect the way I talk to myself and the way I view myself. And I think it's very symbolic that we have a little pig here, because pigs are slandered so much. We call them sloppy and dirty, and it's just not true. Pigs are extremely intelligent, and if they are living in good conditions, then they will do their best to stay clean. And also, this expression of sweating like a pig, that does not even make sense, because pigs do not sweat, and that is why they roll in the mud in the first place, because that's how they cool themselves down. So there is just misinformation and negative talk about pigs that I will not stand for. And I think it's symbolic for what you are going through. I think a lot of the negative things that people may have said about you in the past are kind of baseless, or they were projecting onto you. This is kind of similar to group number 1, if I'm being honest. I don't know if you guys were drawn to group number 1, but I'm seeing some similarities with alchemy here in this message of the unknown meets the practical, real world skills and knowledge. I think something that your guides want to remind you of at this time is that, yes, there is a big part of healing that happens through, for example, reading books or through doing shadow work. That's more of the practical side. That's more of the gaining knowledge side. But a big part of healing is also just living, just going through life and allowing time to pass. So we need the balance of both. There's a practice of healing, there's deliberate actions that we take in order to heal, but the other part is just letting things take its course. It's just allowing for time to pass, allowing for us to live more and to have more experiences. And I feel like a lot of you guys, just as you move through the month of July, this healing will come naturally through the things that you are experiencing. So let's take a look at your astrological cards. We have Aries, very interesting. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And we have the 5th house with pleasure, romance, creativity, fertility, sex, children, childlike fun, joy, love, passion, entertainment, art, culture, and hobbies. A Leo person could be significant, or you could be a Leo. Or this is an asteroid, but you could have it in the 5th house. Although, if I'm not mistaken, everyone who's alive right now, this asteroid is in Aries. So You would have to have Aries in the 5th house for that to be possible. But it's very interesting that this asteroid comes up because we were just speaking about projection and like traits that you don't like about yourself. And that is what this asteroid is all about in our birth chart. It shows the traits that we most dislike, and it can also show how we project onto others. I feel like you guys have dealt with people who cast judgments on you, but they're really projecting their own shadows and their own insecurities onto you. I think there's also a reminder for you guys this month that when we interact with others, we really do hold up a mirror. And so the traits that you love and admire in other people, you also have those traits in yourself. And in the same way, the traits that you might judge in other people, you have those in yourself too. And it's really just a reminder that we need to be kind and compassionate of everyone we meet, because at the end of the day, we're all a lot more similar than we might think, and we're all going through a lot of the same struggles than we might think. And I feel like you guys get this. I feel like this is an extremely kind group, but sometimes we're tempted to stray away from that when we meet the darkness of the world, because it's very often the most sensitive and compassionate and empathic people who get stepped on. I was gonna say who get shit on and who get hurt. And I think sometimes we do get tempted to harden up and to become cynical and to not share our kindness and love anymore. But if this is you, like if you're listening to this and you resonate with being that kind of person, I just really pray that you don't lose your softness and you don't lose your sensitivity, and that you continue to have compassion for everyone, even when others fail to do so. I think it's easy to think that it's about you when others become nasty with you or when others become judgmental towards you, but it's not about you. It's about something within them that they are unhappy about, and they're projecting that onto you. And maybe it's like you're so pure, and something about that makes it makes people project onto you or something. With the 5th house here, I definitely think, and it's so similar to group 1, there's a feeling of you guys building up your confidence. You believe so hard in all of this. You believe that you are worthy, that you are lovable, that you're valuable, that you deserve respect, that no one can shake this. I feel like these beliefs are really cementing themselves for you this month, and you can't be, that gives you power. You cannot be swayed or led to believe any way else by others' treatment. And I like that we have these repeating hearts. This asteroid in the birth chart, it can show traits of us that we don't like I spoke about before. And it's very interesting that we have the 5th house next to this. This is Leo energy. So when we think about the archetype of Leo, it's, confident, over the top. You can think of it as like a ham, someone who loves being in the spotlight, who loves all eyes on them. So I feel that group number 2 is there might be a part of you that craves this attention and craves this love and craves this validation. And that is a part of you that you dislike. You might even judge other people for being attention seekers, or like, oh, they just did that for attention, they just did that for validation. But deep down, there is a part of you inside that craves that same attention and validation. And there is nothing wrong with that. We're freaking human beings. Of course, we want to interact with others. We want people to pay attention to us. We hate being ignored. We hate being dismissed. Like, that is very normal. And I don't think this is any fault of your own, because just societally, we frame the desire for attention as some evil thing. Like, literally, babies crave attention and affection. You freaking need it for your development. And it's so weird that we demonize that. There could also be a part of you that demonizes your desire for pleasure, your desire to just have fun without the need to be productive or useful or practical, to do things for yourself that doesn't necessarily fulfill someone else's need. There may even be a part of you that demonizes your sexuality or your sexual expression. And it's because of some kind of conditioning that we are rejecting in the month of July. We're saying, no, this part of me is not bad. And this is so interesting because sometimes I get these kind of messages where we're like, oh, well, maybe we can frame this negative judgment in another way. You know, like I'm not bossy, I'm not high maintenance, I just know what I want. Whereas in this case, this is a message to fully reject, like what this person labeled me as or what this person projected onto me is not even true. There is nothing wrong with me. There is nothing shameful or dirty about me or wrong with me. I am pure. I think this group, you need to be reminded of your purity, especially that you have such a pure and compassionate heart. And it makes me so angry that someone who is not happy with themselves could come and project their shame and judgment onto you and make you believe that. Like, it makes me so angry. There's nothing wrong with being insecure, but if that leads you to be mean and hurtful to others, then yes, there is something wrong with that. And I feel like this group, you've dealt with some deeply insecure people who like refuse to admit that or to look at that, and instead choose to go out into the world with completely no self-awareness and hurt others. And it's hard. It's hard to heal from that, like especially if this is someone who is quite close to you. But I just want you guys to know that this healing is possible. And I think you're already making great steps and you're making huge progress this month. I'm like, ooh, I'm getting emotional. So let's take a look at some further cards for you guys. I just saw 1222, like 1222. We have Weeping Willow with Family Sorrow. If you guys are struggling, if you're struggling mentally or emotionally, I think your family, whether that's like your biological family or your chosen family, your friend group, there's people who will, like when you laugh, they laugh with you. When you cry, they cry with you. There is truly people who want to see you thrive. We have Chair Filled, someone new is entering your life. Oh, and we have Lobster. I know the message is financial pinch, but whenever I see this Lobster card, I think of Friends, where Phoebe says that the old lobsters like hold claws in the tank and they mate for life. I don't even know if that's true, but it's just something from the show. And when the two characters who are like meant to get together finally get together, she's like, oh, see, like she's your lobster, or something to that effect. So Lobster makes me think of a forever person. So there could be a new person entering your life who is a forever person and who is incredibly empathic towards you. So when you're down, they're down with you. When you're up, they're up with you. They want to see your successes. They want to see your happiness. This is kind of a strange, specific message, but some of you, like if you're expecting a child, or if someone around you or someone in your family is expecting a child, there could be a deceased loved one who is reincarnating as a child. Yeah. There could also be, if your family is struggling financially, there could be a new person entering your life who is going to fix this. Like if there's a financial pinch that is causing sorrow or causing upset in your family, this someone new entering your life could be here to help with that. Whether this is like an employer or some sort of advisor, I feel like financial issues will be solved for you and your loved ones. Okay, I also want to mention WCFL. These could be relevant initials in someone's name, or they could be the initials of a place that is going to be relevant. But this is all I'm seeing for your general overview. So let's get into the specific areas of your life now. I have one tarot card and one oracle card each for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. So let's start with your love life and relationships. For your tarot card, we have the Two of Pentacles with change. And we have the Forgotten, missed opportunities, fear of failure. And with this snake, it feels like there's something that is coming back around. Some missed opportunity is coming back around for you guys. I'm not sure, this could be referring to so many different things, but for example, maybe there was someone who really had feelings for you and they missed the chance to tell you how they truly felt. They could be coming back around this month to finally let you know how they're feeling. Or this could be you. Maybe you felt like you missed your chance with someone and so you're getting another chance again. But this could even be, for example, maybe you wanted to apply for a job, or maybe there was someone that you really wanted to collaborate with, that you really want to work with, but you felt like you missed your chance to make that known to them. There's that feeling of getting a second chance. Either because you missed the chance the first time, like you missed the timing, or maybe in the past you were just too afraid of rejection that you weren't able to go for it. So, and this could really be anyone, but someone that you feel you missed your chance with, or like the timing wasn't right. And if you're worried that someone has forgotten about you, they absolutely haven't. And I feel like this is someone you are meant to have a connection with. And so the universe is just going to keep bringing this around again and again and again. So even if in the month of July, you got the opportunity to reconnect and you missed that opportunity again, the universe will just bring it back around again. It's like in an infinite loop until you see what the two of you are meant to do together. Your souls will not give up that easily, I'm hearing. So I feel like this is a confirmation for some of you that things are not broken beyond repair, that things are not messed up. Like you'll keep coming back around until you get this right. This could be a soulmate or divine counterpart situation with these yin yang symbols, romantic or platonic, it doesn't matter. But it's like you're finally seeing the truth of why do we keep bumping into each other? It's because we're meant to do something together. We're meant to be a catalyst for change in each other's lives. And the Two of Pentacles makes me think of reciprocity as well. So anyone that you are missing, longing for, wishing you had a chance to connect with more, they are feeling the same way. So I don't know, let's say you went to an event and someone you really look up to and want to work with is there, but you know, it's like a crowded event and there's a lot of people you have to talk to, and maybe they slipped out early and you're like, damn it, I didn't get the chance to, you know, give them my business card. I didn't get a chance to talk to them. There's a feeling of it's the same way on the other side. They also wanted to talk to you, but maybe they just had to leave. They didn't get the time, or they had to talk to these other people because of work obligations. It's very much mutual is the way it's coming through. If you're in a significant relationship, like if you're in a committed relationship, you or your partner could be going through changes at work right now, or just going through a transition and feeling not super stable, and you would have to lean on the other person a little bit this month. So this could be you going through a transition, and so you're leaning on your partner more, or they're going through a big change and so they're leaning on you more. And that's okay, because it's always going to be reciprocated. So maybe you're leaning on them a bit more this month and you feel bad for that. And your guides are saying it's okay, because in the future when they need your help, you know, you're going to be there for them. And you'll always be there for each other in this infinite loop. So don't worry about it. You'll always, you know, pay the love back in some way or another. Yes. I think that's everything. So let's take a look at your career and studies. Interesting. We have the Fool coming through. And we have the Founder, foundations and community. Very interesting. You guys might be founding something. Founding a business or some kind of, founding a company. Or you could be meeting the founder of a company. If you are networking this month, it's like you're going to go straight up to the top, because this is Aquarius energy, the Fool, which is about networking and making positive connections. And the Founder is like the, you know, that's like the the big boy, the top dog. And so it's like if you're doing networking, you're just gonna go straight up to the most relevant person, or like the person that you really want to meet. And I feel like it could be completely unexpected because this is also Uranus energy. I'm hearing it's a total fluke, you know? And okay, I'll give an example. Let's say you're trying to make it in the music industry. And so you're submitting your demos, or like you're talking to people like lower, so to speak, in the ranks, and like, oh, can you pass up my demo? Can you pass this along? Or like maybe your uncle's cousin's friend's mom's coworker knows someone who works for a big label. And so you have to jump through all these hoops to like climb up to where you want your message to get. But then you randomly end up like at the same restaurant as the big executive of that label, and you get to talking to them, and they're like, oh, like, yeah, sure, let's work together, you know? It's like you're cutting through all of the middlemen, is what I want to say. You're cutting through all of the middlemen. You don't have to like go through all of these degrees of separation or go up the ranks to get to who you want to connect with. You're going straight to the top. Some of you guys could be like, if you work for a really big company, you could be getting praise or getting a promotion from like the very, very top of your company. Or maybe you're moving up to that really high position. There's just a feeling of you like shoop, going straight to the top without any interruptions or without any obstacles. And it's happening suddenly and unexpectedly. And also for those of you guys, and I hope this is not the case because this is really freaking annoying, but you know when you have to like call customer service for something and then they're like, okay, I'll escalate the problem, or they're like, I don't know about this, I'll have to call you back, and it's this whole back and forth. It feels like you're just getting straight to the right department, you're getting straight to who you need to speak to, and it's just very easy. There's no hoops to jump through. I hope that this is making sense. I feel like as far as your career and finances go, things will be pretty smooth and easy this month, which is awesome. I think that this financial pinch is something that's going to be solved this month, probably as a result of a new connection or a new collaboration, or you entering into a new position, because chairs can talk about our position and our role. The Fool as well, it talks about unexpected opportunities. And so you might receive an opportunity in July that you don't necessarily feel prepared for. It may even be a little bit different than what you're trained in or what you're educated in. You might feel like this is kind of outside my description. This is kind of outside of what I'm confident that I can do. But I do think this opportunity is positive, and I do think your guides are encouraging you to just, go for it if it sounds good to you. And with these two rats here as well, these two rats, I'm imagining that they built this together. Very impressive. You and someone who has a very high position could be building something together, and that will kind of prove you within the industry that you're on par with like a big shot. You know what I mean? That's very cool. So finally, let's look at your spiritual and personal growth. For your tarot card, we have the Chariot. That's an awesome card. Oh, this Chariot has 4 creatures. Oh my gosh. You know what I just thought? If you guys resonate with this like soulmate and divine counterpart energy, I just had this feeling of your higher selves like being each other's spirit guides, or that you have this divine counterpart and then your guide, your spirit guide, and their spirit guide are also divine counterparts. Oh my gosh, we have the diviner, divine timing and evaluation. Okay, so this is you guys learning how to ride the wave. This is your personal growth. We have this watery energy with the Chariot. This is Cancer energy. And Cancer is very intuitive. And this is about moving at the right time, because the Chariot is about forward motion and progress. And this is about you intuitively knowing when the time is right. And specifically knowing the timing. Wait, let me phrase this sentence. Knowing like when is the best timing to take action that you will gain the most momentum. Planning your moves deliberately such that the energies will be working most in your favor. You maybe have heard the analogy of a surfer. I feel like I've used it quite a few times before. I've heard ASO use it as well. And maybe a lot of people use it. But if you're a surfer, are you going to try to get to shore when there's no waves coming? Are you going to try to get to shore by just paddling? Or are you going to wait for a big wave to come and then ride that wave swiftly to shore? Probably you're going to wait for the wave. I mean, if you are trying to preserve your energy and be efficient. And I feel like depending on the timing that you make a significant decision, it could make things happen much faster and easier, or it could hinder you. Now, the problem is that sometimes when we're waiting for this wave, we get antsy because it feels like nothing is happening. It's a feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm just getting this example that's very specific. It's like when you go to a restaurant and they're like, it's gonna be an hour wait, and you're like, okay, and then you're sitting there and like maybe you waited 10 minutes, you waited 20 minutes, and you're like, ugh, this is bullshit, I don't want to wait anymore, let's go somewhere else. And then you go somewhere else, and then like 30 seconds later they call your name. It's that kind of feeling. Or in the surfer analogy, the surfer's tired of waiting and they're like, oh, screw this, I'm just gonna paddle to shore. And then literally a wave comes right after that would have taken them much faster. So don't be afraid of that stillness, or don't be afraid of that period of waiting. I know that we can label that as being lazy or not being motivated, but I feel like you're being strategic with your timing of something. If you're waiting, if you're delaying, that's not a bad thing. You just know deep down that it's not time yet. And this could be even happening on an energetic level. And that's so important. It's so important that you guys don't beat yourselves up about like, why haven't I done something yet? Why haven't I started something yet? Your higher self knows what they're doing very, very well. Your higher self is that surfer waiting for a wave. So let's go back to the music industry example. Maybe it's your dream to be a musician and you're telling yourself, man, like, why haven't I put out my EP yet? Why haven't I sent out my demos yet? Like, why haven't I really like put effort yet? And you're beating yourself up about it. But it's because your higher self knows, like, yeah, I meant to do this, but there is a specific point in the future that is most efficient for me to start. The time that you start will affect the whole journey. The specific time that you start will affect your trajectory. It's like, yeah. So your higher self knows the perfect time to start. And it's not necessarily that the sooner we start, the sooner we're going to blow up and the sooner we're going to see results. No. There's like a perfect timing for it, and your higher self is waiting for that. So if you're not feeling like ready, if you're not feeling motivated, don't stress about that and don't like force yourself to be ready, because you know better. You have a deeper knowing. You will start at the perfect time. Okay, so let's finish off with a Thera-pets card for you guys. We're gonna get you a message of encouragement for the month or a message of reassurance. What is an encouraging or reassuring message that group number 2 needs to hear right now? Oh, just because you feel like trash doesn't mean you are trash. Exactly. This is a month of completely rejecting any negative bullshit that we have internalized about ourselves, because it is simply not true. Okay? So those are all the messages for you guys, my lovely group number 2s. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find my pick a card readings on Instagram, many of which are timeless. You can find my pick a card videos on Patreon, which are also timeless, and they're just like these ones, except for you get to choose a topic. You can check out my music on my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. And you can also check out my latest release, link down below. And finally, I have a vlog channel, KINO Vlogs, and I have merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. And we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It truly means so much to me. Just thank you so much for being here. Group number 2s, I am sending lots of love to you, to anyone who may be playing a role in your month of July, to your spirit guides, your whole spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose the Shiva Lingam stone, this is going to be your reading. So we're going to start off by taking a look at the overall energies of your month, and we're going to be using these oracle cards. So let's get right into it. We are starting with Just Trust and Creative Judgment. Never feeling good enough thwarts progress. No one starts out complete. We all need to warm up before we take to the stage. So on your Just Trust card, we have the number 32. And I had been using these as like a day of the month that could be significant. Obviously, there is no 32nd of July, or maybe that is August 1st. That will be significant to you guys, but it could be July 2nd, July 3rd, or July 5th if we add up these numbers. Could also be that someone is the age of 32, whether that is you or someone else. But it seems like for this group, you might be feeling kind of lost or stuck right now. Like you're not really sure where you're going, if this path is right for you, or if you're doing a good job. Or you might kind of be in a weird in-between period of your life right now where things just kind of feel up in the air and it's hard to feel settled. It's hard to feel secure and safe and okay. And I feel like your guides want you to know and really keep this in mind throughout the month, that even if it's hard to understand what the heck is going on in your life or why things are unfolding the way that they are, this is all very much deliberately part of your plan to bring the fruition of your manifestations to you. I think it's really important to remember that everything is happening exactly as it should, and everything is actually an important part of your manifestation. We tend to have ideas of what should and shouldn't be happening and what is bringing us closer or farther away to where we want to get. But I think your guides are gently reminding you that the universe knows the best way for you to not only get to where you want to go, but to be the person that you need to be once you get there, so that you can receive your manifestation exactly in the way that you've been imagining it, and to take care of it is maybe a weird way to say it, but hold on to that manifestation and live it out in exactly the way that you have imagined. I'm just imagining this mole who is, digging through the dark, like going through some tunnels underground, and maybe feels like they don't know where they're going, but then they pop their head up and they're like, wait a minute, this is exactly where I was trying to go. Like all of that digging through the dark and not knowing what the heck I was doing actually brought me exactly to where I needed to be. So I think there's a message to trust in the chaos, and even if you're feeling uncertain, just know that you're going exactly where you're meant to go. There could also be some of you who are feeling a little bit insecure about like still being a work in progress, or still needing to make adjustments, or still having room for improvement. There could be some of you who feel pressure to be this complete, polished, and perfect thing, and to already have everything all figured out. I think a lot of us deal with that pressure at some point or another in our lives, but Never feeling good enough thwarts progress. No one starts out complete. And I would argue that none of us really do end up completely knowing what we're doing, or completely healed, or all knowing, or capable of everything. We're all just works in progress that are trying our best. And maybe this group needs to give themselves a little bit more grace. Like, you are doing the very best you can, and it's okay to not have all the answers and not be perfect. In fact, that's the only way we really can be. I think there could also be some advice to not wait for a certain thing to happen, or not wait for certain circumstances before you start enjoying your life. I think it's easy for us to say, like, I'll be happy when this happens, or I'll feel settled when this happens. But life is just kind of a series of shit being up in the air. And I think we really need to find happiness in the uncertainty and in the perceived chaos, because it's in the little day-to-day moments that we find the most happiness anyway, not through everything being super clean and settled and perfect. Life is a messy ride, and I think your guides just want to remind you to enjoy it and to not be so hard on yourself. So let's take a look at our astrological cards to get more information. We have Hygeia and Leo, the showstopper. So the last week of July might be significant for you guys, basically when Leo season starts, or a Leo person could be significant. I don't remember if I already said the showstopper, but Leo is the showstopper. And then we have the keywords enthusiastic, generous, magnetic, pretentious, show-off, bossy, extroverted, proud, headstrong, loyal, seeks approval, loving, ruler of the 5th house. There could be a significant Leo coming into your life, or you may be wanting to embody more of these qualities. Maybe you want to be more of a show-off sounds weird, but more proud of what you're doing. Oh, proud is here. More proud, more extroverted. Leo makes me think of someone being in the spotlight and being confident and sharing what they're passionate about. So you might be feeling very creative this month, and a little bit more extroverted and outgoing than usual, and with a very strong desire to share what you are working on and share what you've been thinking about. You want to express yourself. With Hygeia here, it's funny, every group has gotten an asteroid. This is like a astrology deck that has the signs, the houses, and probably some other stuff that I'm forgetting. And there's a few asteroids in it, but it's the first time that all groups got an asteroid, which is kind of cool. And you guys are also the only group that got an actual sign in this part of the reading. I'm actually going to check when the moon is in Leo in the month of July, because that could also be relevant dates for you guys. So I'm opening my moon app. Okay, and we're in July. The moon is going to be in Leo. It's going to enter Leo on the 18th of July, and it's going to leave on the 21st or the 20th if you're in the west of the world. So roughly around the 18th to the 21st, or the 23rd. I just realized you can put these backwards. Basically the end of the month. That's really what it looks like for this group. But Hygeia, as you have maybe guessed because it sounds like the word hygiene, it is an asteroid that has to do with health. So that could be a big focus for you guys in the month of July. But with Leo right next to this, and thinking of the 5th house, I feel like you will be pursuing like caring for your health and wellness only in a way that is enjoyable. So we may be moving away from a healthcare practice or a fitness regimen that kind of feels like disciplining, or that kind of feels like punishing even in some extreme cases. And we're doing something that is very enjoyable to us. So one example of this would be finding a physical activity or an exercise that you genuinely love doing, that the goal is not even to become fit. It's just kind of a nice icing on the cake when you do it. The real reason that you're doing it is because you have so much fun. So maybe there's like a sport that you really enjoy, or a specific type of workout, or that like, I'm not eating this food just because it's good for me. Like, that's just a nice bonus. I just really love making it, and I really love eating it. So pleasure is kind of the main, I guess, the main motivation. And I also think you're realizing that this pleasure and enjoyment that you derive from caring for your health makes it more sustainable in the long term. Because if you're doing something that you dread, if you're doing something that you don't like, it's really hard to keep going. And I feel like that's very often why we fall off the wagon. And I'm saying that with finger quotes, but I guess why we give up on certain healthcare routines, because we're like, I don't feel like it. I don't like this. So I think you're finding something that you really, really love. And I also think there could be a direct link between like getting healthy and taking care of yourself that boosts your confidence. Your mental health could improve as a result of caring for your physical health, and vice versa. And I think this is a month where you really feel like you are glowing from the inside out. Like Leo is literally the sun, like the brightest freaking thing in the world. So I think you're looking good, you're feeling good, and you are glowing. And also, if I combine this with the previous message, some of you guys might not be exactly where you want to be in terms of your health and fitness, but you can still feel good, and you can still feel confident, and you can still feel proud of your accomplishments. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at I just saw 1010 by the way, 1010. We're gonna take a look at these tea leaf cards for some more messages. We have horse with short journey. Weirdly specific, but some of you guys could literally be interacting with a horse in the next month, like horseback riding, or I don't know, maybe you take care of horses. We have funnel, period of frustration, lessons to be learned. And we have moon with changes in your life. Yeah, you guys are like, I'm getting middle of the journey vibes from you guys, where we're assessing what adjustments need to be made as we keep going on our journey. I think one thing that you guys might realize in the month of July with this changes in your life and the funnel, the period of frustration, you might find that you have taken on too much. Because when I look at this funnel image, I think that the reason for frustration is because we have so much dumped into the funnel, and like it can't all go through, or only so much can go through at once. There's a feeling of being overloaded. So you might find that you have taken on too much to your schedule, and in July you might be making some adjustments to kind of simplify your life and only commit to things that you really enjoy and that you really care about. And this could actually be improving your health. If you have committed to too much in your schedule, it could lead to a lack of proper sleep. It could lead to just eating whatever is convenient. And so you might find that making your life more simple, it de-stresses you, and it also vastly improves your health. And in fact, with moon here, it could be that your sleep is improving quite a bit. It's not necessarily that you're sleeping more, although that could be the case for some of you, but just that the quality of your sleep is much better. I also just heard specifically for some of you, if you're the type of person who has really crazy vivid dreams and then you wake up not feeling rested, I do feel like that's going to kind of calm down in the month of July, and you'll be having, just calm and quiet sleeps. With the horse here, we have the message of short journey. So some of you guys could be going on a short trip in the month of July, or you are encouraged to do so as a way of taking a little vacation. I feel like you guys just might need a bit of time off to recharge so that you can come back to what you're doing with full enthusiasm. Literally, even if it's just for a weekend, or maybe you're just going to, I don't know why I heard going to your grandparents' house, but just going to visit the grandparents for a weekend or something like that. Also, with the funnel, I also just imagined, and this is also quite specific, there's like slow Wi-Fi because too many devices are trying to use it. And that could be an issue that is being resolved. Maybe we are getting faster Wi-Fi this month or something like that. Or maybe you are receiving psychic downloads faster. But yeah, this is what I see for your general messages. I also want to point out the initials here. We have H, F, and M. So those could be the initials of someone's name or of a relevant place this month. But now let's get into the specific areas of your life. Let's also drink water. Okay, and as you can see, I have one tarot card and one oracle card each for love and relationships, career and studies, and spiritual and personal growth. So let's start off with your love and relationships. For your tarot card, we have the 8 of Pentacles with the keyword prudence. And 1414 came up on the camera as I was showing this card. And then we have the sleeper. That's funny, we were just talking about your sleep improving. Cause and effect and clarity. Okay, so the 8 of Pentacles is the sun in Virgo. So there could actually be a Virgo sun who is going to be very specific, very significant to you guys this month. Someone who was born between late August and late September, especially August, because we have the number 8 here. Or maybe they're like a September 8th Virgo. But as I was showing this card, 1414, that is the number of temperance, which is Sagittarius. So Sagittarius could be relevant as well, or this could be someone that you meet at work or school, or that you study the same things, you have similar jobs, or you are interested in the same things. This person is going to play a big role in your life in July. This could be a romantic connection or platonic. I feel like even for some of you, you are in the process of trying to figure out what exactly this connection is and what type of relationship this is. And with sleeper, cause and effect, clarity, dreams that you have about this person could be very telling. They could bring clarity about this connection. Especially given the fact we just got the information that you won't be having a bunch of like crazy dreams this month. I feel like in the dream world, we're going to be pretty low key. So then when you do have a dream about this person, you know that it's important. And that may actually even be why this is happening. Your guides might be like, hold up, we need to give group number 3 a really important message about this connection. So let's kind of quiet down the rest of the astral chaos so that this dream comes through super clear. Because you know, like I sometimes will have like 5 different dreams in one night and they're all unrelated and seem super random, and so I end up not really paying much attention to them, even though, I don't know, maybe they could have really significant messages. So I feel like your guides just really want to make it super obvious that this dream really stands out. So you will be very clearly dreaming about someone and your connection to them. And I feel like what you need to know is that you do have a past life connection to this person, and the feelings that you have for each other are very much mutual. And there is something that you are meant to work on together in this lifetime. Like there is some project that you are meant to work on. You may, if you don't know who this person is yet, you may even be having dreams about them before they come into your life. I'm also hearing for some of you, this person could be at a physical distance. Like, I mean, like really on the other side of the world. They could be a completely different like language and culture than you, but you relate to them because of your similar interests or similar career goals. They might have a job that you think is really cool and you've been wanting to do that. There's something about work or like skills that you have that links you. And I'm hearing it's not a lot of people who are good at what you guys are good at. Or there's not a lot of people who take it to that professional level. Very interesting. Okay, so next we are going to look at your messages for career and studies. And for your tarot card, we have the 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment, your ultimate happiness. And then we have the Gambler, loss and risks. So 10 of Cups is like the best freaking card. It's one of the happiest cards in tarot, and it talks about being completely happy with your situation. You could not ask for better. So what this tells me, group number 3, is that in the month of July, in your career or studies or both, or even in your finances, a big wish is coming true for you. You are reaching the completion of a goal, and you're having everything you could ever ask for. And that's like, oof, I'm like getting chills, because we just spoke about you. Some of you guys might feel like you don't know what you're doing and things are all over the place, but you're being asked to trust, because little do you know, you are at the edge of a breakthrough. And I even saw 10-10 at some point in this reading, I'm pretty sure. I saw 10-10, and we have the 10 here. So a breakthrough is on the way in your career, in your studies, in your finances, or all of the above, that like all of your wishes are coming true and you just don't see it yet. But what's so beautiful about this card here is that it talks about emotional happiness. So it's not just that, you know, through the work that you do, your material needs are being met and you're building material security. It's also that you're very happy with what you're doing. And that matches so well with this focus on doing what brings you pleasure, and on recognizing that if I don't like what I'm doing, I'm not gonna be able to keep it up for very long. So you are finding great success in something that you genuinely enjoy. And if there's anything specific, like any wishes that you have with regards to your career or studies or money, like something you're trying to manifest, it will be manifesting, and it will be even better than you imagined. With the gambler here, with loss, you might have to lose something in order to gain something greater. Let go of something in order to gain something greater. Let go of your salary to get a higher salary, or turn down an offer so that you can take a bigger offer, which feels kind of scary, right? Because even if the offer is not exactly what we wanted, or it's a little bit small, at least it's an offer. But you might have to turn something smaller down before you know for sure that that bigger thing is coming, and it kind of feels like a gamble. But with such a happy card next to the gambler, I do believe this is letting you guys know that risks that you take will be rewarded. If you go big and if you go for your dreams, you will be rewarded. So there's big satisfaction, not just satisfaction, but joy and wishes coming true in your career. And 2121 just came up as I was talking about this, which is the number of the world. So we have completion, a significant accomplishment, a big milestone in your life. You're graduating from an old path and you're leveling up. Very exciting. So finally, we're going to take a look at your spiritual and personal growth. For your tarot card, we have the Knight of Cups. And for your oracle card, we have the Catalyst, radical changes and taking control. Wow. So you guys are very much tapped into your spiritual and psychic gifts in the month of July. It's interesting. I feel like we had a lot of indication that the end of the month was going to be significant for you guys, like around Leo season, maybe the last week or so. But I feel like throughout the whole month, and maybe especially during Cancer season, you're going to be receiving quite a lot of downloads. That could be happening in your waking life or through very deliberate and infrequent dreams that stand out. But I think your guides are very proud of you, because this is a month where you're really following your intuition, just like this mole who cannot see shit down in the tunnels underground, but is just feeling their way through, and you're popping up in the perfect place. What you go through this month will be a huge confirmation that your intuition is the best compass. It feels like a month that you are really feeling your way through things and letting your heart and letting your intuition guide you. We also have the catalyst with radical changes and taking control. So this choice that you make to completely honor your intuition and completely honor your emotions, for some of you, that might be the radical change. I feel like for some of you, this is indicating that your emotions will be the catalyst for big change in your life. So whereas before, you guys might have waited for a lot of external signs or for things to change in the world around you as your way of knowing like, okay, I have to adjust something in my life. I have to take this action. Now it's like the feeling itself is enough. So if I can give an example, let's say you're in a job that you hate. And so you feel dread, you feel exhaustion, you feel frustration. I feel like the old you would have felt all those things and then said, okay, universe, give me a sign that I'm meant to leave this job and I'll do it. Or you maybe waited for things to get worse and worse and worse as a way for your external surroundings to like prove to you that you should act on your emotions. Whereas now, that emotion is enough to be the catalyst for you to change. So that dread, that exhaustion, that frustration, that in itself is your sign that is coming from within you. The sign that I'm meant to leave is the very fact that I feel this way, if that makes sense. So your emotions become the catalyst rather than like waiting for something outside of you to tell you, yep, that emotion is valid, you should act on it. Because you already trust your feelings so much. I hope that that makes sense. Okay, so the last thing that we're gonna do is get you guys a message from the Thera-pets deck. I like to use this at the end of our monthly readings. So this will be a message from, well, it could be from your higher self, it could be from your guides. If there is someone you would like to hear from specifically, just keep it in mind while I'm shuffling. And this will be something for you to take with you as you go through the month. These are all really sweet messages. Okay. For group number 3, what message of encouragement or of reassurance do they need as they move through the month of July? What message do they need to take with them? Feeling worried doesn't mean anything bad is going to happen. You're going to get through this fine. You always find a way. That's beautiful. You guys, you know where you're going. Like this mole, this Knight of Cups, you know exactly where you're going. I think you maybe get scared sometimes and kind of psych yourself out to think that you're on the wrong path or that something is going to go horribly wrong. But your inner compass is very strong and very accurate. And I think this is also a friendly reminder that having negative thoughts does not inherently mean that something negative is going to happen. In fact, sometimes I have found that my worries and anxieties cause me to take an action that creates a chain of events that is ultimately positive. I think that, yeah, anxiety and worry, if it can propel you to take action to change things, can actually be helpful and productive. But if we're just worrying for the sake of worrying for things that are out of our control, of course, that is not helpful. But it's not always a bad thing. And it certainly doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to manifest something bad. You're going to get through it fine. You're going to find your way. You have so much help too. You are so heavily guided and protected. I want to mention as well that bees could be a significant spirit animal for you guys, as well as crabs, because we have a little crab here, and you know, horses and moles. I don't really see moles that often. I feel like I've seen one before, but I don't really see like images of moles. And then I believe this is a red panda. I've definitely seen this card before and wondered if it was a red panda. I'm looking it up now. Yes, that is what this is. I am pretty sure. Okay, so my group number 3s, those are all the messages I have for you. So I'm gonna end your reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Hygia wants you to stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find my pick a card readings on Instagram, many of which are timeless. You can find my pick a card videos on Patreon, which are just like these, except for you get to choose the topic, and those are also timeless. And you can check out my music on my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song, and you can also check out my latest release linked down below. And finally, I have a vlog channel, KINO Vlogs, and I have merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video, and we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It truly means a lot to me. And thank you so much for being here. Group number 3s, I'm sending so much love to you, to anyone who may be involved in your month of July, as well as to your spirit guides, your whole spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.